people don't know how much hard work you put in. But when it comes time to battle, you must think about each and every day that you put that hard work in.
What happened? Why don't you play anymore?
Brian Banks was 16 years old when he was accused of a crime he did not commit.
Great evening to everybody. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the #1 grinder, one of the best kept secrets on social media, the best of the business. We got a good one for y'all guys. Going to interview the one and only Brother Rob, the Educator. We're going to wait till he come. He should be here any minute now. So please be patient. Let me get these announcements out the way. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to my underrated one family. Shout out to y'all. Hope everybody's doing fine. The one who's been rolling with me throughout the years and the tough times. I thank y'all very much. Appreciate it. So shout out to my family, the underrated one family. And also shout out to No Duck Zone family. No Duck Zone podcast family. Shout out to Brother McLean and the family right there. Also, shout out to the mighty LBBC. That stands for Lions Den. Okay, Brother Rob, stay right there. Stay right there. I'm gonna put it in the link so you can come up. All right, stay right there. Stay right there. All right, I'm gonna bring you up. Every time I make this out. It's only for Brother Rob. Yeah, hit that, Brother Rob. You can come up. So hey, brother Steve, thanks for coming. Appreciate you. This link is only for brother Rob to come up on the panel, not for nobody else. Not for nobody else. So hit that, brother Rob. The link is in the chat. Hit that. Waiting for while we waiting for him. Oh, cool. Let me erase this. Oh shoot. Okay, that. All right. You can hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Before we go get this, I know this brother for years. Inside the space and outside the space, he always there for our community, talking about education. Now, I did a chop up with him years ago, but that's gonna be a part 2 down the road. But we on interview, but I'm saying I want to interview you tonight because I want other people to understand why education is important for the young people and also for us as being adults. And I want to interview him tonight because I want us to understand and keep abreast why education is so important. It's not just a level you just stop. And here's a young man, was a dean, and he was also a teacher, part administrator. So this is a young man that did it all, deal with politics within the educational system. So introduce yourself, please, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can still hear me clearly?
Yeah, I hear you. Yes.
Awesome. So, man, I appreciate the introduction, man. I try to be so humble about what I do, and I don't go around telling people all of the stuff that I do. You know what I mean? In my mind, right? And these the people that I learned under, because you are in service, right? Service to the community. You don't go around bragging about what you did. You know what I mean? You just do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, yeah, like you said, I've been working in education for quite a few years here. I started off as a mentor and a coach. You know, so I was kind of tricked into it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was kind of tricked into it, and so yeah, been in education. I've been part of a couple of groups, as you mentioned, that lobbied down in Springfield, our capital, for more funding and stuff like keeping our charter open and all of these types of things. So like even today, you know what I mean. I'm always trying to do what I can to better the community. If I can do it, it ain't gonna get me in no trouble. Hey, bro, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? I don't have, especially if I know it's gonna help. I don't have one issue with going all the way if I got to. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
How's the family doing?
Oh man, the family is well, and so yeah, man. My oldest son, he decided to go to school, so he's in school for automotive repair right now. He recently finished the auto body class, and he's about to finish the painting class in a couple of months. And so man, very excited about that for him. And then my youngest son, he is remember I was telling you all about how they was playing baseball and all of that. So yeah, so he kept with it, bro, and he is now in Kansas. He plays for the Kansas City Wind, and so he's playing semi-pro baseball right now.
Okay.
Yeah, this is going on his second year. He's a pitcher, And so I just hope that that young man get a shot. He definitely has put in the work. I done seen it over the years. So very proud dad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And wifey all good, you know what I mean? Family, everybody is all good.
Thank you. Now, let me explain, people, before we do. This is an interview. This is not a chop up. Brother Ron will be back in the near future for chop up part 2 because me and him chop it up. So he gonna ask questions about me when we do the chop up. It ain't all about me tonight. It's about him tonight. So I'm interviewing him tonight. So I want you to, whoever the link you have in there, please share it out because it's very essential and it's very, very important. Brother Ron, let me ask you a question. When when do you know that education was your calling?
Ooh, um, maybe about 3 or 4 months into it. Like I told you, I kind of got tricked into it. So what happened was I was working at with Washington Mutual, and so Washington Mutual had got bought out, and Chase ended up buying Washington Mutual, and so at that time I decided to leave banking, and I was chilling, man. I had my severance, you know what I mean, and I was just doing my coach thing, and the principal of the school, she loved the way that I kind of motivated the kids, and we had a really good season. We ended up winning the championship that year, and she asked me if I would come and coach at her school. And so, man, real talk, dog. The first day, I was like, man, what time you want me to be there? She was like, oh, be there first thing in the morning when school start. I just want you to get to know the kids because I thought, by me coming in and being a coach, that I was just going to show up after school, coach the teams, and that was it. You know what I mean? But uh all the time it was a setup. You know what I mean? And so I ended up showing up there first thing in the morning. I'm listening to the conversations. I'm hearing how these cats is talking. And I'm like, hey, look here, family. Uh, we don't talk like that, bro. This is school. You know what I mean? Like, man, I know y'all don't really know me, but now, G, it ain't going down like that. You know what I mean? And so, of
Right.
course, the people at the school were impressed with the way that I did things and the way that the kids responded to me. And so, that being said, bro, um, couple of months into it, I don't want to give away anybody personal story, but I helped the
Right.
student with a issue, and man, that's what kind of lit that first fire. You know, me helping the student and knowing that man, this might change the whole trajectory of his life, man. Let me uh
Mhm.
let me see how much further I can go with this. And
Mhm.
and let's just say the rest is history. That's what really lit the fire. Right there. When the first kid that I helped outside of just my duties at school, and it wasn't like no big sweat off my back or nothing. I just made a couple of phone calls and made some things let's say go away for him, you know what I'm saying? And then he was able to thrive, bro. And from there, I said, man, maybe I can do a whole lot of good. Because I was definitely thinking about going back to the bank. I was highly successful. I could go get
Mhm.
one of my spreadsheets and show you, bro. I had like 1.5 million on deposit with my customers, and man, I was doing the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was a highly successful personal banker. Before then, I was a mortgage broker, but because the bubble burst, that's why I decided to go into retail banking, you know.
Mm.
But
So
yeah,
wow.
but after working with the shorties and all of that, man, bro, I was hooked. I was hooked from that point forward.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now another question I want to ask you, right? Because I'm going back and forth being a teacher, He was a teacher. He was a dean and an administrator.
Mm-hmm.
And I got questions before, so I want people to understand that he wear all the hats. He one of the few black men I know that wear all
Oh,
the hats. So I want people to understand why it is very important that I'm asking questions, because like I said, I know for years. Now, being a teacher, going to a dean, right? That is a big, I can't imagine. What's the transition that you know that was your second call?
yeah,
Being
man.
a dean.
It was actually in reverse.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so what happened was after they seen how I was handling what they call so-called trouble students and the way that they was responding to me, they made me the assistant dean my second year. And so,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and so I was working in administration as the assistant dean at the school that I started at. Stayed there for a number of years, left and went to another school as the assistant dean. You know, still coaching and stuff the whole time, but I really felt like I could make a difference in the classroom. Like maybe that is a better fit for me. And you know, let's just say that after you been the dean for a while and you done had to put a couple of kids down, put a couple of kids out of school, and man, it get heavy. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so you know, I decided that man, I want to get in front of them and just, you know, try to see if I could really be a really good educator. I love education, but like I had never taught in a classroom. You know, I did like stuff after school, like Black studies, and of course I'm teaching my zone and my plays and inbounds plays. But like, man, teaching American history, Black history, you know, stuff like that. And then because of my banking background, I was teaching consumer ed. And so, man, bro, shout out to Tony Kadir, man. Tony Kadir, I went in for my mock interview or whatever, my mock lesson, and
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "Oh man, you're gonna do great, bro." I was like, "Well, okay." So I'm thinking, you know, again, this is gonna be my first experience as a teacher, and so I'm like, man, all right, I mean, maybe they're gonna have me as a teacher's assistant for a little while, make me, you know, learn under somebody. He like, oh no, hey, you start Monday, bro. And yeah, you're gonna be teaching U.S. history, consumer ed, and Pan
Mm-hmm.
African studies. I said, what? But I, I took the challenge, and I never understood how much work actually goes into teaching, the development of lesson plans and how to teach to different students on their levels and how to manage a classroom, the lesson plans. And oh man, bro, I did not realize how much work went into it. So that first year, although I mean the students loved the assignments and everything, but in the back of my mind, bro, I felt like I was struggling. You know what I mean? Trying to trying to
Right.
drink water out of fire hose. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then all these meetings that we was having, bro. I'm like, damn, when am I going? When I'm gonna be able to work on my lesson plans? We always in a meeting. What the hell? When I'm gonna do it? You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, man, got all into it. And my second year, because I had laid out my curriculum, oh man, I was ready, bro. And that second year, I feel like I took off. Like, you know what I mean? The lessons got a little more deeper. I knew when to ask harder for my assignments and how to structure assignments better, how to address students with learning deficiencies. And man,
Mm.
I was ready. Came that second year. And so, man, bro, that made me stick my chest out a little bit. You know what I mean? And I started getting recognized in the charter, and they allowed me to become um, the contributing teacher for, it's called Afrofuturism. And so yeah, my third year teaching, fourth year teaching, that's when I was in the Afrofuturism competition, and we was able to come home with first place and everything. And so, man,
Yeah.
super proud, man. I'm sitting over here looking at the award. Here, I grab it so you can see it, because you know people saying, "Oh man, niggas be capping." Here, let me show it real quick.
Nah, they ain't capping. He ain't capping, y'all. Well, welcome everybody. Well, please share this out. Please share this out.
Yeah, and so yeah, there you go, right there, bro.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man. Super proud of that, dog. That
Yeah.
good. But you can see that it's first place, and then you can see the black fist. So you know, I know it's a what's that, social justice freedom school, right? But you can see at the bottom where it say Futurism Day. And so yeah, Freedom School. This is something that was started by the great and late Philip Jackson, and I was able to be under his tutelage for a little while, and I man, extremely grateful for that experience. You know what I mean? But you know, for those that don't know, Afrofuturism is getting your students to picture themselves in the future and what the future is going to look like and how they're going to change the future from planning on it right now. You know what I mean? And so that's what Afrofuturism is in a nutshell for people who might not be familiar with the term. You know?
Got it. All right, another question, brother. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I noticed that you always talk about finance throughout the years, and how does it coexist with education?
Yes, and so man, very good question. You know, this is the way that I explain it in the classroom, right? You don't see Harvard graduates going to jail for selling drugs, huh? Somebody that went to UCLA, right? Right? They not working security. They ain't pushing nobody broom or nothing. So education and finances, they kind of go like peanut butter and jelly, you know? In a general sense, the more you learn, right, the more you can put yourself in a position. Your education leverages you position and to be in position to earn money, right? So for those that work for a company, right, the more education you have, obviously, the more when it's time to go to that table and negotiate your salary, the more you can demand. That's what it is. And then for entrepreneurs and stuff like that, the more education that you have in your background, certifications and things of this nature, right? The easier it is for somebody to give you grant money and, you know, look at your organization as legitimate when you have your education. It's so many things that can go along with education. How, you know, please, anybody in the chat, raise your hand if you want the doctor that got C's while he was going to medical school. Exactly. So we completely understand the importance of it. And I just seen the trend where, you know, people are just being really anti-intellectual and anti-education and all it. Man, don't listen to these people. They don't know what the hell they talking about. It costs to be dumb. It costs. Here, real remedial example, right? Let's say, for instance, you don't know how to cook. Oh, Popeye's about to make some money. You see what I mean? That everything that you don't know, you must pay for in real life. That's real. You don't know how to change a tire? Oh yeah. The tire man, the tow truck company, Everybody about to get paid. Learn something. And then guess what? You can keep that money in your coffers, in your pocket. So that's the importance of education. It's so many things. I could keep going, right? I'm gonna give this final example though.
Okay.
Nothing stops a bullet like a job. Huh? And so this is what I tell our young people. Hey, when you go to college and you come back home with all these fancy degrees and letters in front of your name, behind your name, and all of that, create some jobs for our people. That's what you do. Come home and be prepared to compete in the global economy. And don't go and give away your intellectual capital to somebody who's willing to pay you by the hour. That's dumb. You don't go to college to get a job. You go to college so when you can come back home and you can create some jobs and create wealth for you and your family. And I'm hoping that trickle into the community. You know what I mean?
No, I was good. You know, we right here in the
Absolutely.
community, because I'm gonna hit the community. I'm also person about the community, but I do want to ask this question. I always want to ask you that throughout the years, as you've been talking throughout the years, that in our community, I know you see you where you at, but I could actually say around this country, there is a there's. I know when I was going to school, especially I was a special ed community. It wasn't that many parents showed up. I mean, it was parents showing up, but at that time, there was a lot of people. But I know throughout the years, when I got older, at the PTA meetings, parents is not showing up. You got legal guardians not showing up. And the child, sometimes the child, you see the child being disappointed. And as a teacher, how do you deal with that? Especially you got to take it. You don't want to take it home, right? You want to put it right there, but talking about the community, right? It does affect you. How do you deal with it?
To be quite honest with you, you know, that's probably the toughest part of the job. When you know that if a shorty just had a little more support at home, a little more guidance, that sometimes a lot of things can be prevented. And so that's the toughest part of the job. And I never lied to y'all, bro. I you know, over the years, I think I done probably shared a couple of stories, you know what I mean? Because we friends, right? But you know, rarely will you ever hear me complain about that aspect of the job. And the reason why is because it's built in. And so a parent not showing up to report card pickup, or you know, parent teacher appreciation, or you know, anything, you know what I mean, whatever it is that where parents should be involved but they're not, you know, I just know how much more work I gotta do, you know, and then I work that much harder, bro. And you know, I'm very appreciative that my wife allows not necessarily allows, but my wife supports the work that I do because she understands that those kids need me. You know what I mean? Like some of them, when they was under my mentorship, they needed me, bro. More than just a coach, more than just a mentor, more than just my student, you know? And so she always was supportive and understood. And I mean, of course, I wouldn't put my family in jeopardy, but let's just say that I go above and beyond. You know what I mean? And I just really and truly never just considered that I was doing too much. You know what I mean? If anything, I felt like I wasn't doing enough. And so sometimes I spread myself there, and you know, and I mean, That's, to me, if you're gonna be an educator, that's part of the job.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, man, bro, if I'm being honest, if people that work in my field, if they not looking at it in that way, they are actually part of the problem.
Mhm.
You know? And so yeah, how do I deal with it, bro? I in a general sense, I really can't deal with it other than do more than what I'm, more than my title, you know?
Right. All right, another question. Tell us the difference in dealing with different student ways as a teacher, no,
Mhm.
as an educator. I'm not gonna say teacher, as an educator, and also being the dean.
Yeah. So as a teacher, you have to be very, very organized, and you have to know exactly what it is that you're saying. So I teach history, right? And so imagine if I'm in class and I'm teaching something, and then the students asks a question about the said assignment, and as the history teacher, I'm sitting there like, "Ooh, let me go to Google." You know what I mean? Like, nah, you can't do that. You have
Right.
to know. You have to know, right? Um,
Mhm.
and so I would say that's the biggest difference. The biggest difference is you have to be, if you are a teacher, especially a history teacher, you have to be very organized. We're covering this, this, and this, and then it has to make sense. You see? Because I'm talking about ancient Egypt, then I'm talking about Trump, then I'm talking about slavery, then I'm talking. Do you see when you are all over the place, they mind is all over the place. So
Right.
you gotta make it linear. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? To where
Mhm.
they can follow along with what you're saying, and then you don't overload them with details. You just tell the story how it is, and the details is the assignments. You see what I mean? So when you the dean, though, right, you have to anticipate. You have to anticipate that it might be trouble, that this might be a place where I can give a kid some praise and it don't be overt and maybe embarrass them. That's the biggest thing, dealing with the different personalities within a school, right? If dude is like the man and everybody look up to him, right? That's, you know what I mean? That's who Shorty is. Don't get mad because Shorty is who he is. What you try to do is empower him. You know what I mean? In the situation that he is in. You know what I'm saying? It was a young lady who I'm thinking about right now. She was uber popular in school. You know what I mean? Like everybody loved her, right? Right.
Mhm.
But low key, I knew that she had low self-esteem. You see? And so what did I do? Right? Every time she did anything that was worth talking about in front of everybody, I always highlighted it. You know what I mean? Even though she was uber popular, right? Highlighting those things gave her the ability to really, come out of her shell and really have a greater sense of self-awareness. You know what I mean? I think that's important. You got to give kids the ability to empower themselves, and you do it through little things. It's the little things, bro. Oh man, I like them shoes, cuz. Man, bro, where you get them from? Man, how your mama doing? You know what I mean? Little stuff that they mention to you, like, yeah, man, my mama, she had this, she had that, or you ask about them. You know what I'm saying? And then
Mhm.
I'll say this. I know I'm Chief Long Wind, right?
That's all right. So I got some questions.
Yeah, but my principal, his name was Dr. Kent Nolan, and he used to say this to me when he was the principal at the school that I started at. He seen that I was a little smart or whatever. This is what he said. He said, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Mhm.
All right, William, keep doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, when you the dean, you have to have some, like, you can't just go around, oh, you're in trouble. The rule book states, you can't be that type of dude. You got to be the dude that shorty willing to confide in you. And then when it's time, you hold them responsible. You know what I mean? That's it, bro. They gonna be kids. You gotta allow them to be that. You know?
Yeah. Now, this question. Let me ask you a question. Do you want to take questions from the chat now, or you want to wait?
Oh yeah, man. You know me, man. I'm an open book, bro.
Okay. Um,
So
usually like I wait till after 30 minutes, but then after 30 minutes, be on here. Whatever question y'all want to put in the chat, put in the chat right now. Y'all go put in the chat while I ask these questions. Now, brother Rob, now I want to ask this question about administration.
yeah.
Well, I want to ask a question about administration because as I watch TV throughout the year, and I'm talking about our community, I see how some people in administration are very disconnected of our community.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad about it. Now, I'm not saying that I blame all the administration is, because God bless some of the parents that not partaking in it. Now, as you be part of administration, tell the people why it's so important that our people need to come to these meetings, knowing what's going on the financial part and the political part and the programs that you fight for to have our community our students to succeed.
No doubt. So one of the reasons why the administration at certain schools are disconnected from the community that they service, right? We don't make education teaching, going being a principal, and we don't highlight those positions, as positions to, aspire to when you get older, you know. And so that's one reason. Second reason, right? The higher you go in education, the less you see us.
Right.
That's real. Unless you go to a HBCU or something, right? The higher you go in education, the less you see black folks. It's a quote from very, very famous black educator out of Chicago. His name was Dr. Lerone Bennett. And he said, in an oppressive system, you have to make a choice. Are you going to be an oppressor, right? Or a revolutionary? A lot of people don't want to be revolutionaries. They want to get their check and they want to go home. If these are those people that's always complaining about the job and, oh, these kids this and all that. Listen, man, you signed up for it. And it's your job to get them motivated to do whatever it is you asking them to do. That's your job, right? That being said, some of the initiatives that I have worked on in the years, over the years, politically speaking, has a lot to do with our charter. So I am part of Youth Connection Charter Schools of Chicago. And so we are the largest black charter in America, charter school system in America, largest all black charter school system in America. Are there Latinos that go to our school? Yes. But I'm talking about in terms of who runs the charter, it's all black folk, right? And, so because of that, we are a target. Okay, everybody needs to understand that we literally just had to fight to keep our schools open. We had to go through the renewal process with CPS. And so that Freedom School initiative and all of that, we had to go down to Springfield and lobby and all of these types of things. And so I would just say we, over the years, You know, of course, I still work in the charter. This is one of the schools right there. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm tripping. That's one of the schools right there. You know what I
Right.
mean? Greater
Yeah.
Westtown Community Development Project. And they got two schools under their jurisdiction, Westtown Academy and then YCCS West. And so yeah, man, just been fighting to keep our schools open and then fighting to keep these organizations that we partner with trying to make sure that they can keep their funding so that they can stay open, so that they can deliver those services that our students need that I can't provide. Like, say for instance, if a student becomes homeless, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can't move him in with me. I need the homeless shelter. You see what I mean?
Right.
You know, and so yeah, so on and so forth. I mean, I could go on and on about all of the great work that these organizations around this city is doing. You know, shout out to CSAC West and South and North. I was at the CSAC West meeting today where we were meeting with the Justice Initiative here in Chicago. Got great things coming down the pipeline. Over on Madison on the west side, they just yesterday on Juneteenth opened the Aspire Center, bro.
Wow.
So
Right.
super dope, man. So super,
Yeah.
so like, man, when I say that things are looking up and that black folks is working together. Remember, I kept telling you, yes, we are. They be talking about black folks ain't working together. We working together here in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling people, and I thought maybe people thought I was just talking out of my head because of all of the things that you see in the media. Oh, you didn't see that Aspire Center. You ain't see that all on the news blasted everywhere.
Right.
So the negative propaganda surrounding our city and surrounding our children, like, man, I'm just telling y'all, look for the other news stories because it is plenty of positive news stories coming out of Chicago. You know what I mean? I'll leave that there. I feel like I didn't say it too
No,
much.
no, no, that's good because it's a question I want to ask because we hear things about Chicago and other cities in our communities and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. This question I want to ask you because there is a narrative, and you know we talked about brother. They always say a narrative that us as a people we don't work together, but we have proven society wrong that we do work together. Now the question I want to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
What do we need to improve the narrative that we work together as a people, especially in the educational system that as you see of a certain effect that do not want us, not talking about young people and old people,
Mm-hmm.
want us to fail.
Well,
How do we improve that?
yeah. I start off by saying we got everything we need but each other. We got everything we need but each other. You have to believe that first. The beauty in our story, in the redemptive quality of black folks, our intelligence, our ingenuity, our wit, our comedy, you know, even our physical prowess. They not like us. Hey man, that's why the song resonates. We have to embrace our uniqueness. Once we embrace the greatness of our story, right? And it's our story so special. I say it all the time. People try to erase our name off our story and write their name in. That's
Right.
that's how special black folks' story is. And so, man, you gotta love yourself. And by doing that, right? When it's time, when you hear them negative stories about black folks, some of it might be true. I don't want to, you know, everything not peaches and cream, you heard, right? But
Right.
there's always a reason behind the stuff that's happening. And you know, you gonna either be part of the solution or you gonna be sitting at home suffering from the 3 A's, bro. What are the 3 A's? These are the 3 A's: apathy, ambivalence, and aloofness.
Ooh.
If you don't know what all three of them words mean, y'all, this is what it means. You don't care enough to do something. Once you start caring enough to do something, hey, listen, yo algorithm gonna change, your outlook gonna change. You know,
Yeah.
and that's real, bro. The algorithm, it only go to the stuff that you type in. And some of us are socially engineered to hate ourselves. We have embraced these stories that they tell about us on the evening news, and instead of getting up and doing something about it. Me, that's the only difference between me and other cats. I just go and do something about it, man. That's it, folks. I go do something about it.
Got it. Now, there's another question, right? As a matter of fact, let me tell the chat. Welcome to my channel, Already Dark. Is yours truly the number one grinder, one of the best cat secrets on social media, the best of the business. Yes, I am best of the business. Yeah, I'm interviewing with brother Rob here, the educator. He had been part of this for a long time. So again, if y'all want to ask questions, please do drop your questions in the chat. But let me say, if I feel the question is not appropriate, I'm not gonna ask it. Now, brother Rob want to ask it, no problem. I'm just putting it out. But y'all good crowd, because I already know y'all already. One outside coming, I'm just letting you know. But
I mean, I'm a always be honest. You know what I mean?
okay,
but
cool.
I mean,
All right.
yeah. But at the same time, I ain't gonna never tell nothing to where I might embarrass my family. You know what I mean? And my reputation, I guard it fiercely. So y'all can fire away. It's all good.
Okay, brother Rob.
Yes, sir.
We know each other for a long time, right? I'm gonna talk about this space, and then we're gonna go back to education, right? What is missing in this space, in your hindsight of your experience, right? In this space for education, what conversations need to be happening in this space when we talk about education for our community?
Yeah, I mean, people just have to be humble enough to understand that you could spend 10 years solid trying to study up on Black history and, you know, our political situation in this country. You still might not know everything. So that's the first thing. Be humble, right? And realize you don't know everything. You know, a lot of people get on YouTube, and because somebody give them pushback on whatever they said, you know, now they a mock and, you know, I'm gonna pull up on you and all this tough guy talk. Bruh, a lot of these people are not as tough as they be as they be trying to make it out to be.
They not.
And second thing I say is that people have to have an appetite for those types of stories. I mean, of course, there are people on YouTube that's doing powerful work talking about Black history. You know what I'm saying? The Griot, Each One Teach One, Q Butter channel, Psychopatheist channel. You do work with telling the stories about Black history. I remember your Black Boxer series. You talked about you talked about Black inventors at one time. So man, people just have to have an appetite for that type of content. You know, like if all you want to hear about is the Diddy trial, well, shit. You know what I mean? Of course, you probably not gonna have enough room in your subconscious to hear me talk about Black politics or Black history. Duh. You know.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, brother? I'm glad that you bring it up because I meant. Oh, shit.
I can still hear you. I can see you, your picture frozen, but I can still hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can still hear you.
Okay, now because I meant to talked about like almost a week ago. Now there was somebody came to me, asked me like, "Oh yeah, well, you originally from New York. I'm originally from New York. Why you don't talk about the P Diddy thing? For what? It's a waste of time." I
Yeah.
said, there's other things that we in our community that we need to talk about, that it need to be talked about. And like I told people, and I told people, listen, not talk about P Diddy, but I'm just saying he's not a good. I said he's not a good person. For one thing, I know in New York. Now I said if I talk about P Diddy, I got to go back history, go back how it goes, and so for me, it's not conducive for me. And so I had to stay the course and everything to understand that of our people, I gotta talk about. I talk. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna get into that because when we do the chop up, you're gonna ask me questions about that. But I think that there's a good point that you had to say. I feel that in this space, there's a lack of education for our people, especially like I want to ask you this question
Mm-hmm.
that we need to talk about the young ones, and it's cool. I like that. There is a lack of education of older people
Mm-hmm.
because they don't know what's going on in politics. I'm talking about the educational. What you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
They don't know the finance, right? About it, right?
Right.
They don't even know of certain programs that come down the pipe that really help out people.
Mm-hmm.
And also the conversations that you got to have to demand the programs for our community. But the question I want to ask you, how do we get back to educate our older people so they could be more be more encouraged what they need to know, how to advocate not for the kids, right?
Right.
But
But for them,
advocate for what's going on in the community in the educational field.
yeah. Again, I feel like it starts with humility. See, humility, a lot of times people think that you're being sheepish when you're being humble, right? But nah, what you do is you give capacity for learning. Like if your cup full to the top, right? I could add some more, but it ain't gonna be nothing but a big old mess. You see? And so because a lot of older people are so full of pride, right? So full of ego. I can't teach them nothing. You see? And so my father, he refers to it as crooked trees. If y'all go and check out my channel, right, you will see it's a video on there. It's called Crooked Trees, and it's a metaphor for life, right? And I kind of weave you know, the meaning of trees into what was happening on YouTube at that time. But I mean, it still applies today. See, when a tree grow crooked for 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, oh, you're not gonna go outside and straighten it up. Oh, it's gonna, if you do try to go outside and straighten it up, right? Boop, it's gonna break. You will kill the tree. So what do? You gotta prune the tree. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same way with people pride and their ego. Because they so full of that, right? And materialistic, because they so full of that, right? They don't even realize that they don't know what they don't know. They don't even realize. I can't make you care about your community. Sometimes people have to let trouble come to their door for them to realize that it's trouble. Don't let trouble come to your door to realize that it's trouble. You can look at every metric, every statistic, and you will see that Black folks, we need the most advocacy. I'm not playing victim. I'm just playing smart. I'm playing smart. I'm not gonna help the person that's winning the race. I'm gonna help the person that's lagging behind. And so that's where my work at, my money at, my time at. You know.
Mashona, I don't know if it's a question, but I'm good. She said exactly the black community had plenty of problems that need to be addressed. Why don't we have a big homeless rate, addiction, high rate of infant mortality, high rate of children being left back, etc.?
Mm-hmm. So, man, those are very pointed things that I literally work at, right? The public service announcement that I created for the Afro Futurism competition. It's on my channel, right? And we trying to deal with teen homelessness. We were trying to deal with teen homelessness with the public service announcement, right? But look, you only one person. My suggestion on that one would be wherever your passion is, right? Find time to chase behind your passion and make sure that it's something that can help the community. So my passion is I love teaching. Like I'm passionate about what I'm teaching. So if we in a basketball gym, I'm gonna be passionate about teaching you how to drop your hips and stay low on defense. How to go and block out when it's time for rebounding. I'm gonna be passionate about that the same way that I would be passionate about teaching you about Frederick Douglass and Martin Delaney, William Lloyd Garrison, and you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that I'm teaching, I'm gonna be passionate about it. So that's what I would tell people. That's the best way to help the community, right? And your passion will lead you to the stuff that you need to know, voices that are giving you credible information, all of those types of things. But you have to be humble enough to realize that it's a methodology, you know, that you have to apply to get good information, good outcomes.
All right, drop the questions in the chat. Any question you want to ask, family, drop it in chat, drop it in chat. Another question I want to ask you of the unions. Now I know in the part of administration you deal with unions. Am I correct?
Well, because we are a charter, we are non-unionized.
Oh, okay.
But of course I'm familiar with unions. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, tell us the process when the unions played a role to keep the sanctity of teaching and programs. Give us, because you're in administration, I know you said nonprofit and stuff like that. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Why the unions is not that strong advocate for teachers as it was before, even advocate for people working administration that for the community and for the kids, I mean for the village, right? Why the unions is not all that strong as it was before?
Well, the teachers union here in Chicago, the teachers union. So there are many, we are a union city. So for y'all that don't know, I'm in Chicago. And so what I'm saying is biased to Chicago. I'm not familiar with how other municipalities around around the country are ran. But in our city, we are a union city. You know, we got a pipe fitters union, plumbers union, engineers union. There's unions everywhere, all around the city, right? And the process is, number one, you have to look at the market that you're in, the industry that you're in, and then the market that you're in. So the market plays a role, right? Like if you live in Iowa, the hotel worker in Iowa is not going to get paid the same as the hotel worker in Chicago. Why? Because of the cost of living. You see? And so that's one factor. Unions are good when it's time to negotiate for salary, right? But in terms of education, right? I don't think in any way, shape, or form should somebody who's not an educator should be telling educators how to teach. You see, that's like if you went to the grocery store, you bought groceries, and then you gonna come to me and tell me how to cook the groceries too. Like, nah, you gotta pick. You can't do both. Tell me how to cook it. You didn't just went and bought the groceries. It's a difference. You know what I'm saying? And so that being said, I hope that answer makes sense, right? As an administrator, right? I'm looking at it from the eagle eye point of view. I'm looking at everything and how can I make everything better, right? Whereas teachers, they might only be concerned about the scale of pay for teachers in their market, right? How many hours they got the lesson plan, blah, 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 blah. You know, they are concerned about things for teachers. Us as administrators, though, we have to make everything better. So we have to cater to teachers, and cater to, office staff, to coaches, and to, the maintenance workers. You know what I mean? When you are in administration, everybody problem is your problem. You know what I mean? And when you a teacher, your problem is your problem. You see what I mean? Your problem, not everybody problem. So I would say that's the great divide between the two positions. You know what I mean? But I am for unions. I don't want to I'm not taking away from unions at all.
Got it. Now, how long you could be on?
I mean, I don't know how many more questions you got. You know what I mean? I was about to I'm just hungry again. That's all, man. I had when I got home, because I knew that we had the interview and everything coming up, I had laid down, went to sleep, and so got back up about 15 minutes before you had called me. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
No, what we're gonna do? We're gonna if y'all want to put your questions right now, we ain't gonna hold you long.
Okay.
If y'all want to put some questions in, put some questions right now if you want to ask. Okay, because we're gonna cut this. I said, can you give us 15 more minutes?
Yeah. Man, listen, JT, bro, you my mans, bro. That's why when you ask me, hey, bro, what's up? I ain't hesitate for sure. When you want to do it, you know what I mean? Bet, let's do it Friday. Bet, you know what I mean? So whenever, bro. And that this on air, off air, bro. If you ever call me, I'm gonna be the same dude, bro. If you
I
come
know, but at the same time, I know you didn't eat, and you're a family man, you're an educator, so I have to understand this. So I gotta be fair too.
all right, I got you, bro. I got you. But I just wanted you to know, like, man,
Got
you get special consideration over here. You feel? Yeah,
There you go. See, there you go. See, he part of the underrated one family. See, y'all keep on thinking
yeah,
that
man.
I be lying. He part of the
Y'all
underrated one
don't know, man. After basketball season, right? Man, we used to do a Sunday show. And this
family.
man JT used to
Tell,
cook.
see, they think
Yeah,
I'm
he used
lying,
to
bro.
cook, and we would play like we sitting around having Sunday dinner, you know. So like, people, a couple of people got their libations, and you know what I'm saying, a couple of people cooking with JT. I'm over here cooking too, you know what I'm saying? And it was a big family gathering. It wasn't huge. It wasn't like it was 400 people in the chat. It was 30 people, 40 people who all knew each other, chopped it up with each other, and we had a good time. Wasn't no drama, G. I know that's hard to believe. I know it. I know that gotta be hard for a lot of people to believe. You mean to tell me y'all didn't know each other and y'all just chopping it up on a Sunday for no reason? Oh, that's right. You know what I mean? of course, the numbers would be down a little bit during football season.
Right, right.
Like right around this time when the NBA playoffs and everything. But other than that, bro, every Sunday it was the same crowd, and we chopped it up, and that's how me and JT and a couple of other content creators on here. That's how we all got to know each other.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk more about that when me and Rob gonna do the chop up. He gonna ask questions. We're gonna talk more about that too. But I'm glad you put it. But see really talking about that, brother, right? When I created it, right? I thought about you, I thought about DS1, I thought a few sisters, because at that time it was a lack of family, it was a lack of conversation of different things was happening in our community. And so I want people to understand what Brother Rob is talking about when I created this. Right? Y'all gonna hear more on the chopper, but I want to bring it up because there's a lot of stuff was happening. He was telling us what's going on in education. He was telling us what's going on, what we need to do, how do we need to create conversations talking about education for our kids and stuff. Even like he know I take walks around the community. So I said, how I go about create conversation, talk to the kids, to get them to talk, go to school, make sure it's fun, very essential. So understand what I'm saying, that me and this brother has been building for a very long time. So, but again, on the chop up, y'all gonna hear more about that. But it's gonna be about him. So please, anybody that want to put the questions for Brother Rob, please do that. Now, Brother Rob, in Chicago, right?
Yes, sir.
In Chicago, tell us what's going on in Chicago of education. Well, tell us what things that we need to pay attention for our children, even for our people.
COVID really set us back. That's a real thing, y'all. Right? Coming out of COVID, I just noticed that a lot of our students, they already wasn't, at scale, but coming out of COVID, a lot of them kind of gave up on education. Hey, I'ma just drive trucks. I'ma just. And so, man, that right there, that statement alone is just cringy for me, bro. Like when I hear a young kid, whole life in front of him, right, say, "I'm a just." Oh my God, you might as well just, you know what I'm saying? Stab me, right? So, I feel like we have made some significant strides in terms of just bringing up the spirits of the kids. Look, right? I know y'all don't hear it on the news, right? Because it's not salacious, huh? Right? Remember all the murders that was happening in Chicago? Remember that? Why they don't talk about all the murdering in Chicago no more? Why you think? You see? Look, right? We done put our kids to work. It's a program called One Summer Chicago. They opened it up for the entire year. So it used to be just summer jobs, right? But once they converted it to, we could put kids to work all year long. Man, like I said earlier, nothing stops a bullet like a job. And so because we got these kids engaged, right? All right, I'm gonna share this. I got a shouty, right? Shouty said, I said, man, what you want to do when you grow up? Man, Mr. Williams, I want to get a bag. I said, you want to get a bag, huh? How you gonna get it, bro? What you gonna do? What you gonna do to get a bag? I don't know. I know what I don't know mean. And if y'all don't know that he really did know, but he didn't want to tell me that he was thinking about hustling, hitting a lick. If you can't hear that, right? Don't be in education, is what I'm saying. They do know sometimes. They just don't want to tell your ass.
Right.
So this is what I did, right? What I did was I took Shorty to a black dentist office.
Ooh.
He started talking to the dental assistant. Man, how much money you make, baby? You know, he think he a player. How much money you make? She tell him how much money he make. He like, Then he go and talk to the ladies that do the accounts receivables and accounts payable for this dentist. That y'all know the dentist I'm talking about. If you in Chicago, dude is on 81st and King Drive. That's the dentist office I'm talking about. Anyway, right? He talked to the lady that do the billing. Ma'am, you know, how much can somebody that make billing, that do billing for a dentist office, how much can they make? She tell him that, right? He like, damn, man, Mr. Williams, man, you done put me in a lick, boy. These people done hit a lick, right? Then he goes and talks to the lady that put you under anesthesia. How much does an anesthesiologist make? Right? She told him, right? Man, you should have seen this Mark eyes, JT. That Mark say, what? I'm like, oh, I got him. So then he goes and talks to the lead dentist, right? The dentist told him how much he made, but then the dentist also told him how much he got to pay for insurance and how much he got to pay for this and that. And he was like, well, man, G, seem like you don't make a lot of money. He said, yeah, hey, young man, stay in school. You need to learn better math. So, you know, he got down on Shotty a little bit, cracking the joke with him nonetheless. What I did for him that day was made sure he understood that you could get it a legal way, and it's probably more money than you done ever made. You see?
Yes.
So once I did that, bro, I lit that. Oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. I lit his light bulb. You see what I mean? A lot of us walk around with light bulbs. They not lit, JT. Niggas just walking around with light bulbs over their head. It ain't lit.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
You heard? And so I just feel like doing that for shorties, bro. Man, like I used to think like the best feeling in the world, and it's still a great feeling. It's still a great feeling, right? For all baseball coaches out there, right? When you done taught a shouty how to hit, right? And you know that Mark scared to death. He go up there, hey boy, stick your chest out, get your hands together, and then he get that first hit and make it to first base. As a coach, there is no better feeling in sports. I just can't imagine a better feeling than that. And then the feeling of that you didn't reach Shorty on a level where he gonna listen to you, remember that for the rest of his life. When you know you didn't did that, man, G, I can't think of a better feeling than that. You know, but I'll leave that there. But yeah, you know what I mean? That's the reward of the job I work. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Sister Michelle Knight has a question. She said, how do you feel about special education, remedial classes, and does your school test the kids for that? Because I feel just misdiagnosis a lot of Black children because of many don't have resources.
Mm-hmm. And so special education, everybody learns differently anyway. Everybody that's in school should have a specialized plan based on the way that they learn. Some people are audio learners. Some people are visual learners. Some people are kinesthetic learners. They learn by touching and doing, right? And so JT will tell you my assignments are all centered around that. You know what I mean? So give y'all an example, right? If I'm talking about Chicago history or something, like, all right. When Black History Month comes, right? out of my own pocket. If the school don't do it, I'm going to get a bus and I'm going to take them down to the YMCA where Carter G. Woodson literally started Negro History Week that grew into Black History Month. See what I mean? So like,
right.
make the history alive, right? And then I give students different ways of proving to me that you understand. So you can write a paper, you can do a video, you can get in front of the class and do a presentation, but I gotta have something. You see, I gotta have, you can't say that I got it. No. You cannot tell me you got it. You have to prove it some kind of way. And so I give my students several different ways to prove their competency. And once that has been proven, once they can regurgitate it back to me in their own words and context, I know they got it. You know what I mean? And then I grade on effort and then timeliness of turning in assignments. You know what I mean? So that's the criteria. I think special ed has been overblown, and sometimes, you know, hey JT, it's okay for me to curse just a little bit.
Right.
Hey, sometimes these kids just need us. Hey, get your ass in gear, boy. Turn my goddamn assignment in and stop making excuses. I don't make them. You see? And so sometimes that's how I talk. And the reason why is to motivate them to do what they wouldn't have did if they never had me. You see? And that's the uniqueness of every teacher. All education is special. All of it is. I hate these blanket ass terms that they put on kids, because once you say that, right? What you think, the shorty not gonna take the crutch that you've provided? Of course they are. I keep the pressure on them, but I give them different ways to show that they're competent, and I demand it in a timely manner. You know what I mean? And so there it go. That's how I feel about special ed. I believe in LRE. What does that mean? Least restrictive environment. I don't separate kids or none of that. Hey, you can't read? Well, you taking notes then. You know what I mean? Man, like the pressure gonna stay on until everybody in the class is competent. Period. And I don't accept excuses because I don't make them. So I can't accept something that I don't do. I can't accept it from you. And that's shorties understand that. Any parent that complain, I explain it to them, but I don't give a damn how they feel. I don't care. I don't care how parents feel about it. You know what I mean? Because I'm dealing with juniors and seniors in high school. So if you feel like it's unfair, give me 48 hours notice. You can sit in the class and I'm going to put the pressure on your ass too. That's what it is, G. It ain't going to change, not for anybody.
I'm glad that you asked that question, because again, family, we close it out in a few minutes. Any question y'all want to put in the chat, please do. Sister Kareem Fierce, it labels them and possible surrogate them. Yeah, that's true. That's real true.
My fault.
And
so flip over to the chat so I can read the question too.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, and stagnate them. Yeah, stagnation.
Yes.
Exactly, sis. And so that is why there will. Hey, listen, man. You know, no giving out no names, right? I had a shorty, so at the beginning of the year we test them to see where they are. This shorty was at a 3rd grade reading level. Then we have to test them another time, like after Christmas, and then another time right before they graduate. 3rd grade level in August, 10th grade, 7th month grade level by May. It's not a game. You're gonna do what I'm at. Look, JT heard me say this, and man, you can use it too if you like. That shawty's got 2 options with me. You can do good or you can do good. That's it. It ain't nothing else. There is nothing else. You know what I mean? Once you limit their options, they tend to do the right shit. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Sister Kareem Fitz, because I got a question I gotta ask. You see, brother, you gonna let me pop that bottle and drink. I'm gonna drink with you, bro. I am gonna do that. So forget all that. I'm gonna drink with my brother.
Just sipping a
I
little
ain't
bit,
my
bro. We've
brother in
been
a while.
on for a while, so it's
You
Friday.
know what
I'm sipping a little bit. Bro.
Yeah, I gotta dust off the bottle. You know what I'm saying? But I want to say this before I go in there and make my drink. She said it takes a lot for me to give someone a diagnosis. That is true. Now, a question that I want to ask you, Brother Rob.
Yes.
Remember I talked about this, I asked you about the space a little while ago, but I gotta ask another question. We see me and you, and I want people to understand this ain't not talking about anybody. Me and Rob have been talking about this for a long time. So you go now in this space, we've been in this space for a long time. We see it comes and goes. But we're gonna stick to education because I could other stuff we're gonna go when we do the chop up, we're gonna get into that. But hey, Sister Silks, how you doing? Another one been doing the thing for a long time. Sister Silks, thanks for coming.
Oh wow.
But, yeah.
Man, I ain't sent you in forever, man. How you doing, man?
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for coming. Welcome back. But a question I want to ask you though. We seen a lot of information that is not true for our people. I'm talking about in this space.
Mm-hmm.
And we also seen that they keep the same people around and the same followers around. There's a lot of false tongues that's really happening in this community, happening in this space. That is very disappointing. And the sad thing about it, in this space, I'm just saying, instead of we go up, we decrease it. I want to ask you this question as a brother to you've been part of Already One fan for a long time. So you know, I gotta ask you this. If there's a silver line, if there's some light that this space could come back to the prominence to be respectable. Do you think that
we can bring it back to some type of respectability?
Yeah.
Man, I feel like it's possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I say that is because almost anything is possible if you put your mind to it, right? But the mind, see, that's the thing. It's the people and what they value. Like I was saying, like we need an appetite to want to hear about educational stuff, Black history and stuff like that. You and when I say an appetite, I mean you gotta click the view button, you gotta click the like button, you gotta subscribe, and sometimes donate, right? Like, I mean, all of those things go into it, but our space has gotten, especially since COVID, it's gotten convoluted with celebrities and people that's just saying stuff that they know is not true. It's not. Like, man, bro, how is it that we talking about the flat earth on YouTube? How? Like, I don't. How? Why do people think we Indians? How? Like, how did we get here?
Mm-hmm.
It's so out there sometimes that, like, at the time when it was happening, right, we kind of laughed it off. I wouldn't have never thought that it would have kept growing from when that shit started. you know? And so misinformation. It's a real easy way to overcome misinformation, y'all. This how you do it, okay? Y'all listening? Right? Google is a powerful tool. All you have to do, you go to Google, type it in. The information is out. We in the information age, and we didn't get dumber. What? Like I don't understand it, bro. So I just think that people are hardwired to hear some of this weird stuff that people be saying on here. They just like the salaciousness of the stories and the drama, you know, and eventually it's gonna get played out. So I'm hoping that's where we at, in a space where this drama filled goofy stuff that people be on hopefully is played out. And that's why I say that is hope. You know what I mean? Because there's people out here that's doing really good work on YouTube, and people just gotta find them, man.
Yeah. Before we continue, let's cheers, bro.
Oh, no, that.
That's my brother right here. And also, Brother Rob, I want you to check out the channels in the chat. Brother Clarence McLean, that's a great channel. I want you to check that out. Brother Sister Kareem Fields, that's another channel.
Okay.
Sister Mishona Knight, that's another channel. Check these channels. These are great channels, Brother Rob.
Okay. I'm gonna definitely check them out.
And you know, brother, matter of fact, I'm man, one day you're gonna get together with Brother Clarence McLean, you know, through the telephone and stuff like that. But that's a great brother right there. He talks about sports. Also, he talks about life and stuff like that. That's a great brother. You know what I'm saying? Also, you got Kareem Fields. She talks about family. You got also Mashana Knight. She talks about family. So also, let me go up here. So I want you to grab. Oh yeah. Put your channel in the chat. Y'all the mind? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. If y'all don't feel like putting each other, go put it in the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Clarence, you in St. Louis, bro?
In New York.
New York. Okay. No, I was just looking at the picture of the bridge. It looked like it's the bridge that go from Illinois to Missouri.
Okay.
That bridge on his channel. But all good, bro. Hey, I'm gonna definitely check you out, cuz.
Yeah, definitely. Kareem Fields, if you want to put your channel in the chat, feel free. If not, I do it for you. Now, another question I want to ask you, maybe about 2 or 3 more questions. Then we're gonna do it like that. I don't know what you. I'm gonna ask you what you drinking, but I know I'm drinking vanilla rum.
Oh man, yeah, man. I'm just finishing off this. So I had some white Hennessy, and so I just finished off the end of it. So I got to get ready for the. I got to get ready for the 4th.
Yeah.
So,
but you know, Brother Rob, the last time I drank some white Hennessy, you would never believe me. When I did one of my dinner lives.
All right. Yeah. Man,
that's when the last time I had white Hennessy. Matter of fact, you had white Hennessy. We drank that together. We all said, yo, drank white Hennessy together. See, but y'all gonna hear that on a chopper. It ain't all about me. It's gonna hear that on a chopper. So, brother, that's gonna be part 2. But the question I want to ask you, brother, that
yes, sir.
I asked you about about the space, right? Of the educational standpoint, what do we need to do?
I don't propose to try to tell grown folks how to live their life. I just say that I'm I'm a lifelong learner, bro. Like I put it like this, right? I've been around Muslims my whole life, G. You know what I'm saying? Like man, I mean, how could you not? I live in Chicago, right? So I'm gonna be around Muslims, right? But I just learned about Juma since the last month or so. I just learned about Juma. Had never heard. Never. It's not. I shouldn't say that I never heard of it. Of course, I heard of it, but you know, one of the Muslim brothers that I work with, he literally just taught me about Juma. You know what I mean? And this was about like 2 months ago. And then we was talking about it again today. And I was telling him how I grew up around guys that was in the Nation of Islam, 5%ers, and never really knew nothing about Juma. You know what I'm saying? So be a lifelong learner. That is the key. Be always open to learn something. You know, it's a cup, you see. And again, if you don't empty your cup out, I don't have no room to put anything in. Do you see? You got to empty your cup out. It's humility is what I'm talking about. You got to empty your cup out so it's some room to put other stuff in. You know what the cup full of? Ego and pride and the lack of humility, arrogance. That's what it's full with. Once you empty that out, plenty of room for wisdom and lessons and history and you know, plenty of room. Yes, sir. You muted, bro.
I really appreciate that you give us the time, give me the time to interview you, so people could get to know you. The chop up is gonna be soon. I got it because the brother's busy, so I gotta go by his schedule. I could work around it. So the chop up is gonna be soon. So it's gonna be chop up part 2 of Brother Rob, and he gonna ask me questions. And let me see. Kareem said, I don't want to be misled anyone of those clicks on the channel, but it's provided coping skills, technique founded in psychology. Okay, no problem. No problem. You good. We're good. We're over here. We good over here. You know what I'm saying? We good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry, you good. But I get back what I'm saying. I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
As an educator, as a husband, as a leader, as my brother, I appreciate that you give us the time so I can interview you. See, I put this on. I want people to understand. See, I put this on it not just for show, but at the same time, as him being an educator, I want him to understand that I respect the profession and I want to dress for the title. Because this part of me too. That's my respect to you and the other teachers and the other deans around the country. And shout out to Chicago and keep on doing the great work because y'all define the odds what society trying to put on y'all. And I appreciate that we because see this Brother Rob is not the first time he tells what's going on in Chicago throughout the years and stuff. But we have to understand that sometimes we gotta go. My late father used to have this saying. Right? He went to 4th grade reading level. My late father, right? He had a saying. He said, "Listen, if you want to go to the truth, you gotta go to the right mouth that says it." So you know what I did? I went to the right mouth because the right mouth has wisdom. The right mouth will tell the truth. The right mouth has experience. And this is from a man from Georgia, 4th grade reading level, and drop a gem that way. And he passed away over 30 years. And it came to my mind. Why do you think it's very essential especially us as older ones, that we have to embrace education, to know what's going on, because we have to understand the higher office. And I'm talking about America too, throughout humanity, but we have to understand this very loud and clear. Brother Rob, you understand what I'm saying? They don't want us to learn nothing. They try to take everything away from us that make us ensure us to be proud. So what we need to do, we gotta learn from Brother Rob. We gotta be an advocate for ourselves, for our kids, and even the older ones. We gotta put these people for, hey, look, why are you taking this away from our community that we learning? We got to do that. Because in Chicago, they setting the tone, they setting the tone, and we gotta follow it. We gotta respect that. So, Brother Rob, Latrice, how you doing? Welcome. Already subscribed. Brother Rob, he put the link in there for his channel, please. Kareem said, also conversation, salute to this brother who's walking in his purpose versus talking about all the facts. Thank you, Brother Rob. Hey, Brother Rob, he might have to take over my channel.
Well, nah, man, I'll never be able to replace you, bro. But I appreciate you reaching out to me, man, and getting me back on. And I mean, you never far from my thoughts, bro. You know what I'm saying? I definitely check the playbacks of some of your videos and all of that. And so, man, bro, we all good. You my brother, man. You just let me know when you come to Chicago. That way I have the grill ready. You know what I mean?
And you know what? And we going. Well, I'm letting you know right now. I'm gonna show some, but I ain't showing all. I'm letting you know right now.
All right.
I show some, but I ain't showing all. So
yeah,
I'm
man.
on it. Better be on it because it's time to get ready to get it. But last remarks, Brother Rob. You know how we do. Last, Brother Rob, make your last remarks. You wait for me to make my last remarks. We're gonna close it out as a family. And thank you for thanks the ones that came through. Thank y'all so much. And let's build. The time is now. Brother Rob, last remarks, please.
Yes. So man, we've been on for a while, man. It's going on 90 minutes. So look, if y'all forget everything that I said, right? Just remember this, right? We got everything we need but each other. We got everything we need but each other. You know, the second thing that I say is that we got to think big. A lot of times I feel like we play ourselves short and we be sleeping on ourselves. You know, I had a saying back when I first kind of came to myself, you know. I said, man, I was sleeping on myself. I'm up now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was sleeping on myself. I'm up now. You know what I mean? I wasn't just a block boy. I wasn't just, 79th Street nigga. That like low key, I was an educator all the time. Low key, you know what I mean? You know, the shorties that benefit from, my sacrifice and everything, man. I was just lucky to have met them. You know, I don't fool myself into believing that I can do all of this work by myself. And so that's why I employ everybody, right? You can make a difference. That's only if you actually go and do something. That's the issue. A lot of us are sitting around instead of actually moving and trying to do something. You know, so get involved. That's all I'm asking people to do. Number one, we got everything we need but each other. We don't need Superman to fly through the clouds and crack the ocean and no, they not coming, fam. You Superman, you Superwoman. You know what I mean? And if we gonna win, that's how we gonna do it. We're gonna do it together. It's happening here in my city. I'm pretty sure that it's happening in your city, and you just gotta plug in to see where we making those gains. And once you see it, right, I guarantee you gonna have the confidence of a, you know what I'm saying, of a black belt, you know, and that's the main thing, you know, and that's the last thing that I say in closing, right? With confidence, you have won before you started. Those are the words of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. With confidence, you have won before you started. Mm-hmm. And so once we remember that we didn't won, right? Everything is gonna take care of itself, man. I appreciate you having me, brother.
Okay, stay right there. I want people to understand this, right? When I asked his brother, guy, first I wanted to do the chopper. But I said, no, I want to do the interview because I feel it's very important. I want y'all to get to know him, not just educator, but as a human being. Here's this man that be in every place of education. And to understand that each of us in our own way, we are educators too. And we just got to keep on do the right thing to help each other, even help the young ones. Now, if they don't want to help, that's on them. And I'm proud of y'all. And let me say that because I'm going to do a live about my family, the underrated one family. And I don't know. We're not going to do it, but I'm going to talk about it. I'm the ones in the chat, even the ones outside. I'm very proud of y'all because your own way we helping people. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Help. We cannot stop. We got to put ourselves in a position to help. Help yourself, yes. Help your family, yes. But we got to help others. The ones that wants to be helped. I want you to remember that. On behalf of my channel, The Underrated Darkness, yours truly, the #1 grinder, one of the best kept secrets on social media, the best of the business. Yes, what I am. Yes, I am. Yup. Good night, family. Let's keep it pushing. I might do something tonight. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna rest a little bit. But I might do something tomorrow. And little by little, I'm getting myself back. I just need to take a little break here, and you know. But thanks, Brother Rob. Appreciate you, and thanks everybody. Because y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all came here. Thank y'all so much. It's very much appreciated. And share this out. Share this out. It's very important. We got a lot of meat in there, a lot of stuff that we can learn. Even us as older people too. Let's learn from each other and build. And the ones who do not want to learn and figure that they're entitled, it's okay. They get it when they get it. Let's look out for each other too. Let's make sure we all right. Let's learn, make sure with each other, we all right. Thank y'all. Stay blessed, stay blessed. This one is Ghost. Good evening. Get host. Peace.